podcast, Living in the Countryside, Sống, chậm, giữa, thiên, nhiên. Hi, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of our podcast. I'm so glad you're here with me today because we're about to dive into a topic that I personally love, a lifestyle that many dream of but few actually get to live. Life in the countryside. Just take a second and imagine this. You wake up early in the morning, not to the loud buzzing of your alarm clock, but to the soft chirping of birds outside your window. You step out, and instead of tall buildings and endless traffic, you see open fields, a clear sky, and mountains in the distance. There's a gentle breeze, the air smells like trees and earth, and everything feels calm. That's countryside life, and yes, I'd absolutely love to live there someday. I've always been a nature lover. Forests, trees, rivers, mountains, they give me a kind of peace that nothing else can. Sometimes I feel like the city drains my energy. Too much noise, too much stress, too many distractions. So every now and then, I go out of town just to recharge, to breathe deeply in the forest, to feel the sun on my skin, and to remember that life doesn't always have to move so fast. One of the most beautiful things about the countryside is the slower pace of life. People aren't rushing all the time. You see neighbors talking casually by the roadside. You see children playing freely outside without gadgets glued to their hands. In cities, we often forget to look up, to notice the sky, or even to listen to our own thoughts. But in the countryside, you get that space, both physical and mental, to reconnect with yourself and with nature. Life in the countryside also has its own rhythm. People rise with the sun and often go to bed earlier. They spend more time outdoors, working on farms, taking care of gardens, walking, or just sitting on the porch, enjoying the sunset. It's not just about being productive, it's about being present. That, to me, is something we all need more of in this busy world. Now, what do people in the countryside actually do? Well, a lot of their activities revolve around nature and community. They might grow their own vegetables, raise animals, or fix things around the house. Some might fish, some hike, and others just enjoy tending to their land. They also have time for festivals, local markets, and gatherings that bring people together in meaningful ways. There's a strong sense of belonging in rural communities that can be hard to find in big cities. There are also so many health benefits to countryside living. With less pollution and more green spaces, people breathe cleaner air and get more sunlight. Two things our bodies truly need. Plus, you naturally move more. You're not just sitting in front of a screen all day. You're doing things, using your body. Studies have even shown that people living in rural areas often have lower stress levels and better mental health. And of course, financially speaking, life can be a lot more affordable in rural areas. Rent is cheaper, food can be homegrown. You don't need to spend as much on entertainment because nature becomes your playground. Instead of malls and movie theaters, you have hiking trails, rivers, and open skies. It's simple, yet deeply fulfilling. That said, there are clear differences between the countryside and the city. In the city, everything is faster: transportation, communication, even the way people talk. Cities offer more job opportunities, better education, more advanced healthcare, and modern conveniences. But they also come with downsides: noise, pollution, crowded spaces, and a high cost of living. In contrast, the countryside offers peace, beauty, and balance. But it may lack modern hospitals, high-speed internet, or a variety of schools. It's a trade-off, really. What do you value more? Convenience or connection? Efficiency or serenity? If I ever raise a family, I'd seriously consider doing it in the countryside. Not only because of the clean air and safe environment, but also because of the values it teaches. Kids can grow up appreciating nature, helping in the garden, learning patience, and understanding where their food comes from. They'll have the freedom to run, explore, and be kids without constantly being indoors or glued to screens. At the same time, I'd want to make sure they have access to good schools and medical care. The ideal scenario? Maybe living in a small rural town that still has some modern facilities. Kind of the best of both worlds. Looking ahead, I truly believe technology is going to transform life in the countryside. With faster internet, people can now work remotely from anywhere. Digital classrooms mean that children can access quality education even if they're far from big cities. Smart farming technologies like drones, soil sensors, and automated watering systems are already making farming more efficient and less physically demanding. Telemedicine allows rural residents to consult doctors online. Technology is closing the gap between rural and urban life more than ever before. But let's be real, not everyone is suited to rural life. You need to be someone who enjoys solitude, simplicity, and being close to nature. People who are creative, independent, or work in flexible professions often thrive in the countryside. But if you're someone who needs constant excitement, social events, or quick access to restaurants and shopping malls, rural life might feel a bit slow or isolating. Speaking of which, what are the downsides of living in rural areas? Fewer job opportunities, especially in tech or finance, limited public transport, so having a car is often essential. Healthcare might not be readily available, especially if you need specialized treatment. And socially, it can sometimes feel lonely, especially for young people or extroverts. But you know what? Every lifestyle has its challenges. The key is to find the environment that brings out the best version of you. For some, that's the city. For others, it's a quiet home among the trees, waking up to birdsong and going to bed under a starry sky. As for me, I still dream about building a little wooden house in the hills, maybe with a vegetable garden, a hammock on the porch, and a couple of dogs to keep me company. I'd read, write, walk, and just live, slowly, mindfully, and joyfully. Thanks for joining me on this peaceful journey today. Whether you're a city person or a nature lover like me, I hope this episode helped you imagine a different way of living, one that's quieter, simpler, but maybe, just maybe, a little closer to happiness. Until next time, take care, breathe deeply, and stay grounded.